Paid protesters who have stormed college campuses all over the United States have indicated that there will be no summer break. So friends, if you were hoping this was going to be over soon, you are sadly mistaken. Politico and other news agencies have conducted numerous interviews where they have found that there will be no break this summer, that they plan to continue, that all those matching tents are going to stay erected, and most college campuses seem to be allowing this to happen. We're going to cover in this episode what's actually going on, what will be going on, continued, but then also why college campuses? Why are they targeting college campuses? Who is funding all of this? And yes, a protest at Auschwitz death camp. These people are sick, friends. We have a lot to talk about. Let's jump into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and we cover news items on this channel that you won't hear anywhere else, or at least this side of things, right? Also, for those of you who do follow along on the Poplar Bible Studies channel, we're going to be starting back up on Wednesday with 1st and 2nd Timothy. If you've never studied the Bible before at all, it's very entry level, very easy for people to get in on. A whole bunch of people who have never studied the Bible and folks who have not studied their Bible in a very, very long time have jumped in with us. So you'll find a very welcoming atmosphere to ask questions or to learn something that you have never studied before. So there'll be a link at the end of the video for you to get over to Poplar Bible Studies if you haven't already seen that over there. Wednesday morning, that drops at 6 a.m. The morning video on this channel always drops at 6:15 a.m. Eastern Standard, and we usually drop around 2:30 in the afternoon for afternoon videos. All right, so free food, free tents, free libraries full of propaganda, free masks, and Palestinian scarves. These protests have a lot of free stuff to them, and is it surprising at all that not all the people that show up are students? We had a recent bust of a whole bunch of kids over at Columbia and was it the college campus of New York or whatever it is, in the NYC. Of those who were arrested by the NYPD, over half of them were not affiliated at all with the college campuses that they were arrested on. Homeless people, just people, grifters, people that wanted to prey on young college students. Yeah, that too. Did we just go there? Yes, we just did. Young college students, idealistic, camping in tents, and a bunch of twisted-minded people who want to take advantage of them are in these camps. So, yay for women's empowerment, I guess. You know, you look at the trash left behind some of these protest events, and it's insane. You know, these people are all supposed to be saving the planet, and yet they can't even keep their college campuses from looking like a third world trash site, right? It's absolutely ridiculous. The hypocrisy is to the moon. They want to protect women, and yet the stuff that's going on in these campuses where they are blocking police from having access to these camps. Gee, you think maybe bad stuff were going to happen there? Remember the protest Wall Street? There were so many allegations of assaults and such like that, but of course they were never reported on the mainstream media. No, they would never talk about that. And yet there was account after account after account of that happening. And then same thing with these other protests. Half the people there are because they actually believe in whatever nonsense they're protesting. And it seems like another half of them are just there to prey on young women. So they're getting all this free stuff. Where are they getting all this free stuff from? Well, there is one big group behind all this, Students for Justice in Palestine. Now, there's other ones there too, but that's the big one. And where are they all getting their funding from? Is it a big surprise if I say George Soros's Open Societies Foundation is putting a whole bunch of money into this? Nope, nobody wants to talk about that. What about the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is behind a number of these groups as well? Yes. You can't even make this stuff up. It's so transparent what they are doing. They don't care how many young women they have to sacrifice upon the altar of their political agenda. They don't care how many assaults take place, vandalism. There's so many videos of them throwing items at people. There's the video that came out the other day about one of the fraternities was offended by the fact that they had taken down the American flag and put up a Palestinian flag. And so they went up there and they pulled down the Palestinian flag and they put up the American flag. And all the while, the crowd of protesters, which are really rioters, when you're throwing rocks, friends, you've crossed out of being a protester to being a rioter. Now, I understand that when you're wearing a Palestinian headscarf, you have this uncontrollable urge to pick up rocks and throw them at people. But this is America, and you're not allowed to do that. You should go to jail for that. Of course, like I said before, free masks for everyone who attend these protests, mostly peaceful protests, right? We have assaults happening with deadly weapons that are caught on camera. Any prosecutions for these things? I doubt it. Destruction of property, individuals' property like cars. We see people's backpacks being torn off of them. We see people with Israeli flags having that destroyed. We're seeing people who have any kind of indications on them that they're Jewish in any way, shape, or form are being assaulted, which is a hate crime, right? I mean, there's no ways around that. It's literally a hate crime. We see so many acts of vandalism. At Columbia University, they're still trying to clean up the area where the protesters had set up, right? They're trying to get the graffiti off the walls. They're trying to clean up all the feces on the ground. It's just disgusting and awful. And we see all these things coming to a head when in Poland, a bunch of these morons decided to go to Auschwitz on Holocaust Remembrance Day to heckle Jewish people remembering the Holocaust. Yeah, there's sick video of it out there where they've decided to start waving Palestinian flags and to heckle Jewish mourners remembering the Holocaust at Auschwitz death camp. Yeah, that's how sick and twisted these people are. So what's coming next? Well, we've already seen that, one, it's not going to stop for the summer. And why would it? The election continues to be, out in the future. So of course this is going to continue as we head into it. This is a repeat of 2020. I mean, look at it. It's exactly all. And I've said this before. They're looking for a martyr, though. And until they find some martyrs that are going to really energize their cause, Palestine will do. The Palestinian Authority, the Hamas. I mean, I don't see how you have to be pretty brainwashed to see these people as sympathetic. Now, I'm not talking about the Palestinian people as a whole. I'm talking about Hamas. I'm talking about Hamas, which is a terrorist organization who has committed atrocities of the gravest sort. And we have people out there saying that they're heroes. And this is absolutely disgusting. Now, if these protests were out there making some sort of distinction between the Palestinian people and Hamas, denouncing Hamas, but saying, go easier on the Palestinian people, I mean, I could maybe see that point. My heart breaks for what I see the Palestinian people going through myself. Now, when they start celebrating and cheering en masse as the Hamas terrorists come walking through their streets, that's a whole nother thing. And it's crazy to see that Hamas is elected into these positions by the outstanding approval of the Palestinian people. But I could still see, they're brainwashed, and we should not hold them fully accountable for their government. I mean, I hope that we, as the United States civilians, do not get held accountable for what our government has done. I sure hope we don't, because if we do, we'll be all hauled in front of the International Crimes Court, and we're going to be, we deserve quite a bit, considering what our government has done to other countries around the world. So there should be a distinction between the Palestinian people and Hamas. There should be. And I think that the Israeli Defense Forces are doing their best to separate the two. They're attempting to target Hamas without targeting civilians. They're doing whatever they can to get civilians out of areas that that Hamas is in, and because of that, they're allowing Hamas operatives to slip through their nets, and that's just the truth. But I think it's important that they continue to do so. But we've just seen that President Biden has withheld the latest military shipment to Israel. It looks like Biden has come under pressure from his supporters from within the State Department, as well as other federal agencies, as well as his party, is really pressuring him to abandon Israel. And this is big news. Now, Biden is very reluctant to abandon Israel for two very important reasons. One is the very upfront and obvious one, which is that he gets a lot of money from the Jewish community. He gets a lot of funding from the Jewish community. People like George Soros and other people, right? But then some of who are willing to throw Israel under the bus, but most of them are not. And two, just remember the guy that didn't kill himself, right? That guy and was probably working for Israeli Mossad. Probably, which is their secrets, their CIA essentially, right? Probably working for them, and probably has footage of the chief with compromising video footage and stuff like that. So every time Israel says jump, you see Biden say, "How high and can I take my cane?" And that's I mean, it's clear as day if you look at it. He never says anything critical of Israel. If he does something that sounds critical, he walks it back within the day. And it's like they just pick up the phone and say, hey, Joe, remember the stuff you don't want to get out? Well, you better correct what you just said. And we see a number of politicians in Washington, D.C., basically do the same very thing. They dance like string marionettes. What is it? Puppets, whatever. And we see them dancing to the tune. Any kind of funding for Israel gets an automatic thumbs up. Anything that goes on out there. Now, there are principled people who believe in what's going in supporting our ally Israel. I am one of them. I don't know that we should just be sending money over there. I think we should be having partnerships with them. I think our units should train together. I think that providing intelligence is wise. I think that sharing military costs for programs and development programs is a great idea. I think that they should have access to pretty much anything that we have militarily so that they can make their own or that they can buy from us. I think that's all absolutely on the table, but I think Israel should be paying for their own stuff. I think that everyone in the world should be paying for their own stuff, and broke United States shouldn't be funding the world. I think that that's insane. If you're our ally, you need to pull your own weight, right? You need to pay for your own stuff. You need to raise taxes if you need to raise taxes. You need to borrow money if you need to borrow money. But our stuff should not be freely handed out. It should be sold. And that's my opinion. But I think that Israel is one of our best allies, and I know that our special operations communities have worked very, very closely together, and weapons development programs have worked very close together. Basically, the United States' air intercepts of ballistic missiles and stuff like that would not be possible without the help from Israel. That's the truth. They built their Iron Dome and put the U.S. Missile defense systems to shame. And the United States quietly took apart the Iron Dome systems and learned all they could from them. And basically, that's the only reason why the Patriot missile batteries actually function at all, it seems like, is because we stole a whole bunch of stuff from Israel. And I think that's a great partnership. Now, you look at other countries in the world that are our allies, and they do absolutely nothing for us. So I think that when a push comes to shove, United States and Israel are true allies. But, like I said, everyone should pull their own weight. Israel's not a poor country. They can afford their own weapons. Now, they may need the extra production capacity. They may need a lot of stuff from the United States, but they don't need. But that's not what the Palestinian protesters are out there saying. They're not saying that Hamas is different from the Palestinians and there should be a distinction. They're saying that Hamas is the good guys and Israel is the bad guys. And the propaganda that they have in their little tent cities says all of that. And all their free food and all their tents and all the free stuff that they get there is undermining the United States, period. They want students, they want people who appear to be students, they want anyone who's willing to go and be in those tent cities to do everything they can to destroy the fabric of the United States. And that's intolerable. That's intolerable. All right, friends, if you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. If you want to click on this link right here, that will take you over to Poplar Bible Study, so you can make sure that you're subscribed and everything like that. We will start up on Wednesday morning with our study in 1 Timothy. It's going to be a great study. Hope to see you guys there. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.